My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, it is this both of us will be sharing the course plan. Course plan is same except for like A section, my name and contact details will be there, or B section, Dr. Marisamis, this contact details will be there. All others it is same. We had prepared the course plan together only. Okay. So before going into syllabus, let me tell you about the objectives of this course. The first one is to understand the importance of transportation, then its characteristics of specifically this road transport, what is its important. No, we are mostly into road transport. Then highway planning, alignment and surveys. No, how to align a road. So what are the surveys to be conducted for that? The next unit is on to know the geometric design of highways. Like you have a side distance, many parameters are there. So how to design on this? Then to study the traffic characteristics and the principles of intersection design, traffic characteristics, speed, then volume count, how to study on this and all. Okay. Then principle intersection also we have different types of intersection signal. Signals are there or different like at different flyovers you have seen, you know. So how to design all these in roundabouts. Then to know about the payment materials and design. In this whatever this experimental part I'll be explaining how to, what are the properties, how to conduct experiments. Experiments you will be conducting in the next semester. Hello. Yeah, sir. Good morning. Yeah, yeah. I have already informed the stores. Last week also I informed. Today also I called and informed. They told they will. Ah, yeah, sure, sure. It's not person. I will just intercom number. I will just. I'm in between class. I will just send the message after 1 hour or so after the class. Sure. Okay. Okay then. Sorry, students. So next is to know about the payment materials and how to design the road. Basically, your payments is flexible and rigid. Flexible means whatever the common you're seeing, the blacktop road, no bituminous road. Then your rigid payment roads, a concrete payment. So how to design on this? Then other one is to understand about the payment construction. After constructing, you have to know what are the distresses that can occur. If at all some distresses, so what are the maintenance to be carried out? Okay, these are the objectives. So to briefing about the syllabus. So in highway planning, first part, you will be learning on different modes of transportation. So can you just tell me the different modes of transportation? I didn't ask any questions.
Land,
Yeah, interactive.
land, water, and
Ah,
railways.
Pipeline.
eh, yeah.
Underground
This
metro.
pipelines you are telling, that's also a transportation. This transportation, what we are dealing is with the transportation of people. For materials, no, you have belt conveyors and pipelines. That is also a mode of transportation. Here, what we are dealing with is like this roadways, airways, no, this waterways, railways. So in this unit, you will be concentrating more on this roadways only. Next semester, as you will have to study this railways, airways, waterways, and other modes and of urban transportation. You have to study next semester. Okay. So you have to, so for all the modes you are having pros and cons, no, either with respect to speed or with respect to cost or construction cost or the facilities to be provided, comfortness. Now all are having its own features or pros and cons are there. So you will be studying this year, and then particularly we will be concentrating on the characteristics of road transportation, right? Then highway development India over the period of time. So what are the different schemes that is specifically for highway? How the artist highways are developed over the period of time in India? You will be artist learning. Then how the roads are classified. Can you just tell me the classification of roads for rural? You have basically rural roads and urban roads. No? So how the roads are classified in rural category?
District
Everybody
level,
knows.
state level, and national level.
National highways only I could hear then.
Expressway.
One of you unmute and tell the answer. All of you know this. Tell me.
National highway, state highway, major district road.
Then what is the other one? Anybody?
Village roads.
Village road. One more. You left after major
Expressways.
district road. Pardon?
Expressways.
Expressway stop. Yeah. Then one more between major district road and village road.
Other district
Other
road.
district roads. Other district road. So you have expressways, national highways, state highways, major district roads, other district roads, and village roads. So what is the classification for urban roads? Anybody? Please be interactive. Whether it's right or wrong, no matter. I'm not going to do anything. Tell me. You heard of arterial, subarterial? Say yes or no at least.
No.
No, ma'am.
No. At least in introduction to civil engineering you have studied. And in this also you have expressways also it's there. Okay. So basically arterial, subarterial is there, then collector roads and local street. These are the classification of urban roads. Okay. Next is about different network patterns. Network patterns mean how these roads are connected. Now either it is connected in box type or that's called grid type. Okay, so different patterns are there, star and grid or hexagonal patterns. If it is some planned city and all, everything is planned. So what should be the pattern of this road network, this connection? That's a network patterns. The next is about the principles of highway alignment. Alignment means how to lay on the center line of the road. How do you mark the center line? How to go about this? What are the factors to be considered while aligning a road? No, even everybody, if I wanted to connect or I wanted to go from A to B, everybody will try to reach the B point at the shortest point. So always straight line will be the shortest point, but every time it might not be possible. Sometimes like some temples or some monuments will be there in between. Definitely you can't let us cross that one. Otherwise some rivers will be there or ponds will be there, pond or some water bodies or anything, some other at points will be there. Or other thing is, say if you wanted to connect A and B, in between some other point like C, some small town will be there. So instead of connecting A and B, it will be connected to A, C, B. Okay, so there are some factors which sometimes the soil condition won't be good if you are connecting through A and B, and you may have to like the cost of construction might be more, or some small hill or some other mountain or something will be there. So it might not be feasible or possible also sometimes. So you may have to divert the center line, divert this straight line for n number of reasons that we're learning in that. Then engineering surveys for alignment. Once you have alignment, how to make it into the ground. So what are the surveys to be conducted in that? Both conventional method and modern methods also. In as part of surveying also you might have studied how to use the like total station. Even there are many applications with remote sensing, and this GIS like GPS application is that can be used for the road also. Then other is typical cross section of urban and rural roads. What are the cross sectional elements? Like road, if I am telling, but if you are going into you can see the black part. No, if it is bituminous one, that's called carriageway, where actually your vehicle is run over there. Then on the sides you are having shoulders. In between the two way highways and all, you can see medians are there. On the left side you can see curves will be there. So these are different this cross section elements you will be learning in this. That's about the first part. Second one is highway geometric design. Geometric factors like side distance, then super elevation, wide, all this you will be learning. So first of all, what are the factors affecting the geometric design? Then the important thing is the side distance. Now whenever, so side distance is very important. So whenever you wanted to, you're just traveling over the road, if you're seeing some object, you have to apply the brake. But you should see the object at a distance that your braking distance is more, because suddenly it's not possible to apply a brake. Some lag distance will be there. So without hitting the object, you should be able to apply brakes. So what is that minimum distance required such that you won't be hitting that standstill object, or if that object can be an opposing vehicle? No, that's called overtaking. While you're overtaking, so if you're driving, you can see overtaking, you will be checking whether opposite vehicle is coming or not. Even if it's coming, you will be seeing that. So before reaching or hitting your vehicle, whether it's able to safely overtake or not. Then another one is side distance at intersections. Intersections you have to see on your at many sides if it is four-leg, and also see on your sides whether all the roads are clear such that you can cross the road or take a turn in the intersections. Another thing is design of horizontal alignment, like factors like super elevation. Super elevation means so if you while you are turning in horizontal alignment, while you are turning the vehicle, because of the centrifugal force, your vehicle will be dragged outside the curve. No, it will be dragged outside. To avoid that, you are just raising the outer curve or outer part of the pavement. That elevation, that is called super elevation. And that off tracking of vehicle will be there. Whenever now onwards you can see, especially you can very well see if it is a tractor trailer unit or a big truck and all, if it is turning, the path traversed by the front wheel and the rear wheel, it will be different. You can just watch it. No, some distance is required for that. That's called off tracking. For that, on the curves, you have to provide some extra widening. The width of the road should be more than on the straight line. That is called widening of pavements. Okay. Then transition curves. You have a sudden, so while you are traveling, suddenly if a curve is coming, it will be annoying and it's very difficult for you to take a turn. Instead, it can be smoothly, you can apply the curves. That's called transition curves. Okay, smooth from the straight line. In between the straight line and this curve, this in between that, gradual application of the gradual attainment of the curves. It can be radius or super elevation or widening. That's called transition curves. This is with respect to horizontal alignment. Other one is vertical alignment. Vertical also you have seen like gradient. Now gradient is the vertical slope what you are providing. You can have summit curve, valley curve. All this, so in this we will be just teaching you how to find the super elevation widening. So how to design this transition curves, then summit curve. So what should be the length, the length, then curve, then side distance on this. Everything will be taught on this highway geometric design part. One second. The next is traffic engineering. Traffic engineering means you will be learning more on the characteristics, either with road user, vehicle, and traffic character. No, these are the people using the road, right? You have you have the pedestrians are there, vehicle is there, no, driver is there. So, so what are their characteristics? You have to study on the characteristics of the vehicle with respect to, say, speed, its dimensions, its braking efficiency is different. So you have to study on that. Then road user also, if I am taking my my vision or sight, no, sight characteristics, hearing, this thing. Then fatigue. Someday I will be so tired, or my it is meant the psychological factors also. If I'm driving in tension, right? So all these factors it should be studied. So what is the vision, hearing, braking efficiency, maneuvering efficiency, etc. Then other is traffic characteristics. Traffic characteristics like speed, then volume. Speed means speed of the vehicle. In this also a different speed, how it is affecting. Then volume studies. Volume studies means how many number of vehicles. Parking, what are the different patterns of parking. How to decide on the parking facilities. No, how to find what is the parking capacity required. Then accident studies is very, very important. So what are the causes of accidents? How you can prevent this? Okay, so all this is important. Then concept of PCU means anybody can tell me what is the PCU? That's called passenger car unit. Okay. Thing is that you have when you if you're taking any traffic, cars is a mixed traffic. Now we have a cycle is there, two-wheeler is there, bullock cart is there, car is there. In car also we have a very high speed car. Different types of cars are there, right? The truck is there. Then light motor vehicle. But if I'm counting, it's very difficult for me to tell these many cars, this many two-wheeler, this many. To design also it's very, you can't design separately for a cycle, separately for a car or for a bullock cart or a truck. Even though it warrants, it's not possible. So what it's doing is, so one passenger, one car is taken as the standard. All the types of the vehicles is converted in terms of one passenger car. So if you're taking a truck, so a truck is equivalent to how many times of a car? Either in terms of its speed and other characteristics, then dimensions, everything. Okay, so a two-wheeler, if you're taking, it might be 0.5. If you're taking a truck, it will vary from 3, 4, etc. So one truck is equivalent to 3 to 4 times of a passenger car. That is called passenger car unit. Then how to find the capacity of a road? Capacity of a normal, this two-lane, two-way highway. If it is a multi-lane, what is the capacity? Single-lane road, what is the capacity of the road? How much vehicles it can handle? The level of service. Level of service means you have your rating, your road. No, some you have seen some roads with very congested roads. If you are taking expressways or national highways, comparatively congestion is less. So its level of service is different. Then that's A, B, C, D, F. So level of service is there. So that how to rate on that based on what all factors. The next is about the traffic signs and Then road markings, traffic signs. What are the different signs and what these signs meant? And what are the specifications? What should be the shape, no size, its color, then what each sign meant, all this important. Then road markings, we have seen center line marking on the side of the road marking is there, stop line you have seen, sometimes you can see some arrow marks are there, no turn left, right, or all this, and parking restrictions marking. So what are the different classifications, its objectives and use. Another is principles of design of at grade intersections. At grade intersections means both the roads will be in same level. Grade separated means your crossing road will be in different levels. You have seen flyovers and all. Your one road and other road are in different levels. Those are called grade separated intersections. So what are the principles and design of at grade intersections? Mainly with channelized intersections, no just crossing, only channelization will be there, or rotaries you have seen. Then signal intersection, signalized intersection. Rotaries, the thing is that it can be connected with many roads. The thing is that it requires more space. It's self-control. You don't require any person to control, right? And or signal intersection. So how this signal intersection should be designed? That signal timing, that's called cycle length. So how this is decided? The next part, these are generally with the traffic and highways. Next two units is exclusively for pavement materials, design, construction and maintenance. So this pavement materials and design. So first of all, you will be the main materials what you're using is you have the soil as the subgrade, then aggregate, then bituminous material. If it is rigid pavement, you have the cement and concrete. But I am not dealing with cement and concrete because already you have studied cement and concrete properties in concrete technology. Right, so I am not taking that cement and concrete, but bitumen will be explained thoroughly. So this is in this you have to study about what are the properties of the soil, aggregate and bituminous material for the construction of roads to be, what are its specifications, what are the tests to be conducted. No? Then at what are the limits for each? Say for national highways, it's a limit. If you are using it, the same material for village road, the limits is different. Now, how to design that will be dealing. Then what are the pavement components and their function? So if you're taking a flexible and rigid, it's not a single layer. You can see like a subgrade, you have soil, above that you can see it is this layers of aggregates and all, that's called subbase, base course. Then on the top bituminous layer is there, wearing course or surface course, no, the bituminous layer is there. So what a function, why this is constructed in different layers? What is it? So why not to have a bituminous layer throughout? But in case of rigid, so most of the part it's of pavement, no rigid pavement. But in flexible you have different layers. Even rigid also you have subgrade, base course, and above that only you have your cement concrete slab or no pavement, right? So what is the function of all this? Why this is constructed in different layers? All this will be studying. The next is factors influencing the design of pavement. What all factors? What also first and foremost important one is traffic. No, how many vehicles are flying over there? How many vehicles? What are the types of the vehicles? Is it a truck? Is it a car? Or what type of vehicle is that? How to design for that? You can't design separately for a car and a two-wheeler. You have only one road. Everything is flying on the same road. So for which vehicle we have to design? How to design that? What are the factors? One is like important one, traffic. No? Then about the climatic factors, then what are the materials to be using and where you're constructing the road, all this matches. So design, there are many methods for design, but in this I'll be teaching you how to design the road based on IRC. IRC is Indian Roads Congress. So as per our country is considered or India is considered, we are supposed to design or follow the guidelines levied by IRC 37 and 58 for flexible and rigid payments respectively. Okay. So this, even though other design are there, if you're taking my lecture on payment analysis and design, all the design methods will be dealt with, but in this only the IRC method alone will be taught. Next unit, the last one is based on payment, construction and maintenance. Like you have studied on materials and design, you have designed, so it should be constructed. Okay. So constructed, first one is stabilization technique. Why you want to stabilize? If your road is not in good, or if your road, if your pavement or your soil is weak, you have to stabilize that. You have to improve the strength of that existing soil. For that, you have to do many stabilization techniques. Then how to go about the construction of different layers of both bituminous and cement concrete roads. Okay. Then next is about the pavement failures. The whatever the failures that can occur in flexible and rigid pavements is different. So we have to study it separately. Then how to do the maintenance for all these roads, both flexible and rigid. Then strengthening, as part of the maintenance, you are doing strengthening of the existing pavement. Evaluation means how to find out, like crack is there, pothole, or you're telling your road is too rough. No, while you're driving, you will see the road is too rough, you will tell. Then if, sometimes you will feel you're not able to apply the brake, you're not, means you're not able to stop the vehicle where you want, like it's too smooth, that's called skid resistance. So you have to check all these properties, how to evaluate that. The next is overlay design. No, your top surface alone you may do overlay and all. Okay. The next is recycle. Every time it's not possible for you to keep on increasing the, keep on doing the overlay, keep on adding the thickness of the pavement. Instead, and you are wasting the material what is below also, even though it might also have some strength. So what you're doing is, you can make use of the existing pavement materials. Along with that, you can add some new fresh, or that's called like rejuvenating material. So you can use existing material. That's called recycling of pavements. All this will be dealing. So what we have decided is this highway planning, highway geometric design and traffic engineering part will be dealt by Dr. Marisamy Nathan. I'll be dealing exclusively for payment materials and design, construction and maintenance. Okay. So we will start both this together. So towards the end of the course, your outcome, or you will be able to carry out the surveys, what is involved in planning and highway alignment. Then you will be able to design the side distance, horizontal and vertical alignment parameters. We have seen like this different stopping side distance, then overtaking side distance, what should be the super elevation to be provided, transition curves, all these things. Then you will be able to carry out the traffic and intersection studies. Then you can determine, you will be able to determine what are the characteristics of pavement materials and design a flexible and rigid pavement also as per IRC. And next, you will be able to measure and analyze the distresses and can recommend what are the maintenance strategies based on the distresses what you have analyzed. Okay, these are the course outcomes. So I have just given here in the test mode to what. So wherever this tutorial like geometric design numerical is there, that's why it's written tutorial. I'll be sharing. So let me come on to assessment part. So what we have planned is assessment 1 that will be conducted in the week 10. What we have planned is at least when we have finished 3 units, we will be conducting assessment 1. In week 10 for 1 hour, weightage is 25%. That will be written type. Okay, assessment 1 will be giving the questions written pattern. Assessment 2 will be conducted after completing all the portions. Okay, it's a quiz. It's a quiz. That's again it's for 1 hour. For weightage is 25%. Okay. Then assignments, tutorials, design will be there. This will be given in each and every class whenever needed. Say like geometric design if it is on that class, if side distance is taught, some problems will be dealt in the class itself, like 1 or 2 problems on stopping side distance will be explained. You can just work out then and there. Then on the end of the class, at this we will be giving you like 1 or 2 questions for workout problems. So what you have to do is only 1 question or 2, not more than that. So you have to submit towards the end of the end of that day. Like if today is the class, today by before 8 p.m. you have to send us this whatever the problem solved in the class. Just take a snap. You just send it to your class, respective class reps, A and B sections respectively. Your class reps will consolidate and send us the consolidated one. Or the problem, this will be wherever this tutorial or numerical will be there, then and there the faculty whoever is handling will be informing you. So you have to, along with the problems what you have solved in the class, take a snap of that, plus if at all some homework is given, that also solve it, take a snap and send it to the CR, no, your class representative. He will consolidate all the material, all the documents from you people, then he will, the consolidated file will be sending it to the respective faculty. Okay, then final assessment will be in around week 18 or 19, it may slight vary, for 2 hours for 30% weightage. Any doubt in this assessment pattern? Is it clear? And one more is a design. 1 second. Design is there. So assignment, this tutorial, everything will be giving then and there. Design, what I have planned is, so I will be explaining you this design of flexible and rigid payment. The software is there for that. So both it's called IAT Pay, and for rigid payment there is an Excel sheet is there which I will be explaining. And for each and every student I will be giving separate problem, like separate traffic and separate CBR value or material properties will be given. So you have to solve, and the software also I will share. You have to solve and send me after teaching the design problem. So each and everybody we will be getting separate design problem. It's an individual assignment, separate assignment. So that's what we have planned. That's for 10 marks. Okay, design this for 10 marks, and whatever that geometric design for tutorial every day it's giving, that's for 10 marks. Any clarifications further?
Reference books.
Reference books, it's not there. I will just add the reference also in this. Okay. If I don't suggest, because yeah, but 1 second. It's a like your textbook. If I can't refer a textbook anyway. If at all I'm telling, you can get Kanna and Gesto textbook is very useful for the top portions for unit like 1, 2, 3, and we'll be giving you the slides whatever we are dealing with in all the classes, and all the lectures will be recorded. Whoever wants, don't, I won't be like saving all the recording. If you want, then and there you people can to save that. Okay, so all the classes for both of us, it will be recorded. Slides will be sharing. Then textbooks, Kanna and Gesto, if I'm telling one textbook, get that. Then Agarwal also, it's good. I'll be sharing you this. I'll add in this itself. Okay, we'll add in the course plan itself.
Okay.
Any other? Anything else? And
No.
please do mind that all of you please attend the class. It's a vast subject, and so why we are segregated payment and traffic 3 units and 2 units is because you should not, if I'm taking 1 and 2 units, you will be confused. But this is separate, it's a separate part only. Okay, so we will deal separately, and question paper, it's not 2 set, it will be common only. But please to attend the class and join the class on time. Okay, and even though it's online, please be interactive in the class. Please listen and interact. For other side, if my one alone talking, it's too boring, right? And the other thing is that in the class we can, from your face we can understand like whether you people understood whatever the content we are delivering and all. But in this online this thing, it's very difficult because we are not seeing each other, so I can't understand whether you got the matter what we are convening. So wherever you have doubt, or if either of us are going fast, or you wanted to you can post me, or need some more explanation for any topic, you can intervene and tell us. And after office hours also, you are free to contact both of us. We are given our contact number also in the course plan. Okay, anything apart from that? Any doubt or clarifications?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I want is, so both of the class representatives, I think in each section 2 are there. So kindly send WhatsApp message to both of us, to me and to Dr. Mali. Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow by 12:30, I will start the first class.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
We are downloading the attendance daily, so please do attend the class, not for the sake of attendance. And we don't want any complaint here after later status. So please do attend the class regularly. If once in a while, if not possible, you can just watch recorded lectures. Okay. Okay, then thank you all. Hopefully everybody have joined. Not sure, I'm yet to check. Anyway, I'll check it. So everybody join the MS Teams. Okay, thank you all. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Bye.